Alright, abusua mama makwaba emra odi asampa TV musomfo odi asampa ni. Twede ampo bie kwan ni nyina ye hwe enwe de megidi se oho eye. Adoma kuma government me so me ho odin. Abusua eye Igbo ken ho ensensam in fact ye di hu nkomo bebre ye nte ye ho ase ewo niam bi ho. But day in and day out no. Na more secret na so na eye den. Epie efri sa Igbo ken ensam we eho. Ye nyina ye hui se eye foreign minister okujato abrakwa ene etosa ede efrenu obewrizi press release na nipa baako waba abeka eho asem even krano o kire se okujato abrakwa amfa respect amfa amma Igbo ken no all because okọ ne Twitter space ene ye freno X ne so how osi besi address issue no ewo ho ne how osi ebo the so called Igbo ken no edin no ono ohun ne se wanfa obuo ese efata amfa amma the so called Igbo ken no nti oye disrespect and near essence wo ne se Gborbu Wulom Papa and so aba out according to Black Rasta no or say Ghana for say moma Igbo ken no ekwan Emma anase say your friend is saying we must see you cry ningo pram for asase no samose mom fa ma Igbo ken Emma ninsi ni village ne dia ene onu Gborbu Wulom oka ama mate say Obema Igbo ken no asase ewo nkran ama nasi Igbo village no nyina Black Rasta ensam na oka and after that no so no o release some letters any certificate ga empanyfo ene omo kire se omo nim bibibia edefa ye kan say omunim bibia edefa sa Igbo ken we ne instrument anasa ne de ne ye instrument o say ni na ne say yesin ahene no omunim ho hwe no o release letters any almost signatures eguswa kire say omuwom bi gamanche omuyina omone no na eto ensawoso aden na ene aba ni say muyina mo twemo afrim. But there are so many questions me bisa ede afa ho memo watch a video no na ye wia ye bisa ye honsam ede afa ho because ono ankasa Igbo ken na ankasa kra no o deny some fact bi eno so kra no Black Rasta eba chire mu ti abusia se ne be ye nche on ye nkoni nkoti mba mesra so nya subscribe to channel na subscribe to Odi Asampa TV na invite our friend on make abusuaku no after so wa video no awie nso no so ma me hu adwen kire e comment section na so wonom no kasa nso say bia o mema sam enkoyi awo ho dadwen how diabetes asthma any hepatitis B so pure organic herbal remedy yemfa chemical bia emfa enfra mu emfa wani nkire ba bia Odi Asampa Spiritual and Herbal Center me ani the CEO of Odi Asampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. My number no so na etwagu e wase ho no 0543304976 yentie Black Rasta
Wulom to give new land for Igbo village in Ghana. How many of us know Gborbu Wulom? Does this face strike a bell in your medulla oblongata? This is Gborbu Wulom, the very handsome Gborbu Wulom, soft spoken. This man here is the owner of Accra. He's like the Otumfo of the Ghana. Gborbu Wulom, the spiritual head of the whole of Ghana. My brother, my sister, he's a very powerful man. Remember a few months ago, he decided to have a marriage ceremony for an underage girl by our constitution. This is it. And it went viral. Many were those who criticized whatever happened. At the end of the day, the little girl was said to be a stool wife, or the wife of the gods. In fact, so many outfits for human rights and children's rights all came in. Brother, my sister, and what has become of this issue, my brother, my sister, you truly want to know, right? We're going to be updating you on this issue. But today, this is not what I really want to look at. The little girl was sent back to school. In fact, she was already in school. She was protected. Her parents were happy that she was going to be married to a powerful man like Gborbu Wulom. But many of us criticized this and said the little girl should be allowed to grow and get to enjoy her youth. In fact, her childhood before venturing into adulthood. What has happened to this issue? This is the man, Gborbu Wulom, that we are talking about. Very powerful. And every Ghana knows this powerful man, both inside Ghana and outside Ghana. Gborbu Wulom says that, hey, if you don't give the Igbo people land to build their village in Pram Pram, I will give them land to build right here in Accra, the Igbo village, because there's no problem, nothing wrong with the Igbo village. Now, Gborbu Wulom is so powerful, and his reason, when I spoke with him exclusively, he told me, Black Rasta, me and you have the same reasoning. And I want to tell you something. We are strong Pan-Africanists. All around the world, we have Ghana village. Accra in America. We have Kumasi in different parts of the world. Akans, Gans, everybody has a place. Sometimes they're even called Ghana village, Kumasi village, Accra village, in all these countries, and they accept us. What is wrong with an Igbo village in our country, Ghana? Of course, if it was a kingdom, no, our constitution does not allow that. It does not even encourage kingships. That I will not encourage, but I would willingly give a huge plot of land to these people known as the Igbos to build. Do you know the contribution of the Igbo people historically to the development of our country, Ghana? He asked me, and I told him, in fact, I know, but tell me more. You seem to have more wisdom than me. And he broke it down one after the other. Some of the first Igbos who came into this nation and helped build our land for us. He didn't end there. He said, the Ghana people, you know that some of us have our, in fact, ancestors from Igbo land. How about the Ewe people? We talk about Eleife. We talk about Banza Bakwai. And all those places, all the way from Israel through Nigeria to this point. How can we insult our own ancestors? Gborbu Wulom is ready to give a piece of land to the Igbo people to build the Igbo village. But let us rewind, dash him out. Now there is a big controversy about this Igbo village. They claim they had a piece of land in Pram Pram. And then it has come out that there actually is no piece of land. What is the sense behind this? But before then, can I tell you something? The Igbo leader, His Royal Majesty, Chukwudi Jude Ihineto, met with Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. And this was what transpired between them. Look at him. This is the Igbo leader. He has lost weight, probably because of some of these issues surrounding his utterances and much more. He went there with his Igbo people, dressed like the traditional Igbo man. My brother, my sister, and this is Okujeto Ablakwa wearing the traditional Ghanaian fugu. What transpired at the meeting? Okujeto Ablakwa has fired it out on Facebook, and he said yesterday, I invited Chukwudi Jude Ihineto. The gentleman captured in a viral video claiming he intends to establish the Igbo and an Igbo kingdom in Ghana following an alleged purchase of a tract of land. Igwe clarified that it was an old 2013 interview, which he deeply regrets. He assured that he has long abandoned that idea and has not purchased any piece of land for that purpose. Chukwudi conveyed profuse apologies to the president, government, chiefs, and people of Ghana for the unfortunate agitations his rather ill-advised interview has created. As I emphasized in the meeting, Ghana is exceptionally proud of its celebrated, friendly foreign policy, which is welcoming of all our beautiful and peaceful, to our beautiful and peaceful country, particularly Africans and people of African descent. We are determined to keep championing that Pan-African identity for which we have attained global renown. We, however, expect all our fellow Africans and guests to adhere to our peaceful and law-abiding traditions and desist from conduct or pronouncements considered unlawful, divisive, and incendiary, even as they enjoy our famed hospitality. Government urges calm and restraint and recalls the inseparable bond of friendship and brotherhood between Ghana and Nigeria. He didn't end there. He said this: let us all, in the true spirit of African solidarity, guard our commentary to this matter so that this matter does not degenerate into xenophobic consequences. Long live our incredibly vibrant Ghana-Nigeria relationships. That's it away. My brother, I don't know what the Igbo leader, the chief, is apologizing for. Oh yes, I am sorry that this interview has brought a lot of agitations out of misinterpretations. But if Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa goes on to say it was an ill-advised interview, in fact, I beg to differ. My brother, my sister, should the chief not grant an interview? What did he say in the interview that was crazy and against the laws of Ghana? The building of an Igbo village. Where in the interview did he mention kingdom? Out of respect, a man might decide to accept everything as his fault, even if it's not faulted. I'm sure that is what the Igbo leader is doing. He certainly doesn't want to, in fact, endanger the lives of Igbo people and Nigerians in Ghana. He's just one man. He's lived in Ghana for over 20 years. In fact, over 30 years. He's been married to his wife for 28 solid years. They have 5 children. The wife is 100% Ghanaian. But Okujeto Ablakwa refers to him as Igwe, even though it's been misspelled here as Izwe. And after that, he just calls him by his first name, Chukudi. I think that is quite disrespectful. A problem shouldn't make you disrespect a man who has been chief from 2012. Or are you disinheriting him too? Or are you renouncing and denouncing him too? Let's be careful. You see, what has the Igbo leader done that is wrong? Tell me. I'm building an Igbo village. Now let's look at the Igbo village that he wants to build. Last night, I decided to speak with him to get more insight into the whole thing. Can I tell you something? That was in 2013. What happened in 2013? There were agitations here in our markets in Accra and beyond, that Igbo people were taking over the markets, in fact, of Ghanaians. And for that matter, an Igbo man who has to do business in Ghana has to pay 1 million Ghana cedis. Would have it as the base investment before you'll be able to do that, and he must have a Ghanaian to partner him. My brother, my sister, we realized how Igbo shops were closed, Nigerian shops in general. He was almost becoming xenophobic. And when their shops were closed and they went away, we started crying that the goods, the prices were increasing. Do you all remember? From Ashaiman all the way through Nima, Circle, they closed their shops. In 2013, after this chief was only 1 year old, he decided that, you know what? Let us build an Igbo village here. And this Igbo village, we shall have a mall in there, which we shall call the Igbo Mall, like they have the China Mall, like they have the China City, or is it Chinatown? We shall have the Igbo.
Abusha, one thing is me mama obiya who me stand. The Igbo kingdom no this guy say or establish no. To be honest, me no enya by truth must be told. Ghana for ye business for ye too greedy, too wicked in terms of marketing. Inti de biya ye kase alata fuja. unya. That's the more reason always yene Nigeria for compete in marketing Nigeria for ABT. Nigeria ni bekwa akofa ade oba se oton na ne de once di na da so a ope nti obeton in 10 Ghana ni bekwa akofa ade na ode ne profit times 2 and e de atoso nti Starlink memfa Starlink enfanya example me ya ho se Ghana network nye me ye foreign call me di bibia eye basa me per Starlink ena me ye enquiries for Ghana ha 12,000 11,000 ni na kra no nwie o ansa na installation obeba be ya maw ene nwanwan ubewie no na Starlink baako one number 15,000 meanwhile checking from Elon Musk and Kasa website and do 6,000 and 5,000 plus and check a price from Nigeria before say na yen lega MBA ma Ghana for no na ebi motor from Nigeria and talk from Nigeria kwa dia baha no ma and no soon do that price no. This one of the things into debi ameka say aya anka sanso no ya access dey ho ni yetiri mo den dodo and na black rasta can that time no some of us were not exposed to the media and ni enim ni eko inti yen hia saa niema we nso inti si yesu se bia ye market enkofo bi eje a ye misa ye ho se den na ama omoje ye market no because osha fridges ni niema obekọ Labanese ni India for shop na price no wo fom obekọ Ghana for shop no na price no e wo soro inti no aya ankasa anso kra no elfole no eye kan say niema ye de prices you go too much no e boroso
so that when Igbo people come here we will register them properly and give them the shops in there. If you want any product to buy that is predominantly Igbo, you come to the Igbo mall and buy. At the time the chief of Ningo was called Nenetepe. He's passed on now into eternity. In fact, this man here called Chukudi Iheneto Igwe went single-handedly with the support of some other Igbo people and built a school in Nungo, he told me, for the people of Ningo, free. Nobody said it was bad. He built a school and he was supposed to get a 50-acre plot of land to build this mall. According to him, it was at the meeting with Nenetepe that it came out that instead of just building a mall, why don't you add other things? If you can build a factory too, fine. If you can build some other things, and then it came out that they would. And
Abusha, let me make one clarification over here. Me say Igbo Kane, you see, there are so many allegations in Niama online kofo kan Igbo for no moja and Igbo for kum nipa any one wine. And to me, I'm a TA. Some may be a ubisami a mini evidence, but we know say undergroundly no eniema bi so koso na say anka eyade a oye na dwuma genuinely so oye na dwuma no genuinely na say problem bia eni ho na yeyi sa na kingdom no o say all build it and truly so kingdom no all build it because washa ase all boss of chiefs there meaning so all build it kingdom no. That's the more reason no one or you choose for no to me defend this guy. Na nyesa na nka uyi sa na money na every moa. Near oh yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. Festival ya wo dia. Aya na on inviting go for ye. Anka we ye will lead the be anase sikani bia or one is wadi hunu. Na se enye mental slavery na achechire adwen a anka yen so ya mamre ene ya manie obetumi afasi ne ho so I establish one of the biggest culture you can say the northern party for wom, the Volta party for wom, and the Mafo wom, Asante for wom, Frafra for wom, and Fante for wom, we wom. sa afasha no duru so a obia be exhibiting the culture, the powers, and I say the magic culture also within that area no. Cause in the mafo mo de duru kunduma e wo fire festival any niema hodo we call the northern parts and so on, and also ebi mu wo honum so many things anka o organize it. Aye de asi wo se afise yeye na anka ye nso ye to nsa fra nkofo ema mu babi ebebusti economy te say ne ye gya ye ho abre ne abre bia no ne afa plane ye tria huge amount of money afa plane hwi sometime kaba ye kotwa ho ahia hwi sometime Israel ne river naira ene wan nyinaa. It doesn't make sense. Inti yanso yentenas ni yanso yen creative. Ne yanhwe the kind of people are ebeba, and within that particular period no, yanhwe how our economy so besi abusi afa. Inya da marriage no. Abusha yantwa so na Black Rasta nkomo awodi no.
A guest house of about 100 rooms. Have some gardens to plant some crops, food crops that Igbo people normally fantasize when they are, talking about their food. Name some of the streets after great Igbos, like we have in Ghana. A lot of streets have been named after great Nigerians. This man will concentrate on Igbo because he's an Igbo leader. What is the problem? Then, the Igbo village all of a sudden became an Igbo kingdom. And Ghanaians said, they are coming to take our land. Gidi people were making noise left, right, and center. But what happened between Nenetepe and Igwe Chukudi, Jude Ihinatu? He was given some time to come and pay the money for the tract of land. But when he got the money and took it over, the chief said, you know what? There's a little bit of litigation. Hold the money for the time being.
Enti Black Rasta chere mu ni enti ekoba say Igbo king na say 50 acres no went to me akwa no. I don't know say that time na sa chief na no say your friend Nenetepe. Ono na ban say 50 acres no ho negotiation no. Ni ekoye na oba be chere mu no. No discan na kwa oso de twen o discan na kwa oso twen. Say na odwen niam bi ho ana so ototo niam bi. Na fade amaso according to Black Rasta.
Followed up for a whole year, presenting the money over and over to Nenetepe. Nenetepe constantly told him to hold on with the money. At the end of the day, he decided that he should forget the idea. He had already built a school for the people of Ningo. So he would not even follow this. 2013. By 2014, that idea was forgotten. About 11 years ago. So this interview that was played was 2013. That was when they wanted to build a mall, like we have China Mall, and through Nenetepe. See if you can find a photo of Nenetepe. My brother, my sister, it is what it is. Nenetepe died. And when he died, the Igbo people never went back to Ningo again for that piece of land. They left the idea. But chickens are coming home to roost. And there's trouble all over the place. Why is it that some people are now renouncing this Igbo chiefdom? One of the greatest supporters of this Igbo chief, my brother, my sister, is the present Gamanche. They have been friends for a long time. He's a man that I have known for so long. My brother, my sister. And you know what? He was one of the earliest people to endorse Igwe Chukudi Jude Ihinatu. Normally the Igbos celebrate their Yam Festival in Ghana. The last time they did it, it was at the A4 Sutherland Park. A lot of people come from all walks of life, from America, thousands of people. They come there and they enjoy themselves. This was a ceremony, my brother, my sister, to commemorate the Yam Festival and more. A time came when another Igbo man was carrying himself as the leader of the Igbos. But Ihinetu had already been endorsed by great powers in this country, including the Ghana state. You know what happened? He had to write a letter. And look at this. The Ghana Traditional Council Certificate of Recognition. This is to certify that Eze Chukwudi Jude Iheneto has been recognized as Eze or Azorome. Eze in the Igbo, the first Ghana. This is October 2013. So the Ghana state wrote to the police, the present government chair, asking the police to deal with a certain Ernest Obi, who was trying to carry himself as the chief of the Igbos. And that there was only one man who had been recognized as the chief, and this was Chukwudi. This is the letter we're talking about. Watch this. 20th October 2022. Take off the label, quick. 2022. It says the Greater Accra Regional Commander, Ghana Police Service Accra, says petition to stop Mr. Ernest Obi from holding his illegal, unapproved Igbo New Yam Festival at St. Anthony School Complex, Aliu Mahama Road, South Odoko, Accra, on Saturday the 22nd of October 2022, or on a later date. Anywhere in Ghana, it has come to the notice of the Ghana Traditional Council of the above program, which is being organized for the Igbo community in Ghana, especially Accra, based on the petition received from His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi J. Iheneto, Eze Ohazoromi, Eze Indi Igbo, Ghana, the King of Igbo community in Ghana, which a copy is attached to this letter. We request you to stop the celebration by one Mr. Ernest Obi. The Ghana Traditional Council recognizes only one Igbo community chief in Accra, and he is in the person of His Royal Majesty as Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi J. Iheneto. We therefore urge your office to stop the celebration before it causes mayhem among the Igbos in Ghana and Accra as a whole. Counting on your cooperation, and is signed by who? His Royal Majesty King Taki Taiko Churu II, Gamanche, and President of the Ghana Traditional Council. Bring me his photograph here. This is the man we're talking about. This is 2022. Now, forward to 2025. This is a letter from the same Ghana Traditional Council, signed by the same man who had signed a letter endorsing Chukwudi, Eze Chukwudi, as the head and leader of the Igbos. Watch this letter. The letter is denouncing Eze Chukwudi as the chief of the Igbos. And look at the wording of the letter. It's so insulting. It's sad. 9th July 2025, right? And it says, press release by the Ghana Traditional Council. The Ghana Traditional Council has observed with dismay recent happenings in the Ghana state surrounding an Igbo king by name Eze Dr. Chukwudi Jude Iheneto, who has accorded himself king of the Igbos in Ghana. How? How? When you recognize him as a king, wrote letters to that effect, gave him a certificate to that effect, all of a sudden he's carrying himself as the king of the Igbos? How? At an emergency meeting held at the Ghana Traditional Council on the 9th day of July 2025, presided over by the President, King Taki Teiko Churu II, Gatmanche, and all members, the understated were resolved unanimously. 1. The Ghana Traditional Council dissociates itself from all activities of the said as Dr. Chukwudi Jude Iheneto. 2. The council has never recognized anybody or person as king of the Igbos within the Ghana state. Wow. Really? So that certificate we saw was fake? The letter that was written and signed by the same great king, Churu II, is fake? Recognition of persons and their induction at the Ghana Traditional Council has always been conditional upon entry of one's name in the National Register of Chiefs. The Ghana Traditional Council is a creation of statute. As Dr. Chukwudi Jude Iheneto should henceforth cease and desist from holding himself out as a king of the Igbos in the Ghana state by way of performing any traditional activity. 5. All assigned paramount and divisional chiefs installed by Eze Dr. Chukwudi Jude Iheneto should also henceforth cease and desist from holding themselves out as such within the Ghana state. 6. All traditional and cultural festivities under the guise of importing Igbo culture presided over by Dr. Ezeneto Chukwudi Jude in his capacity as king of the Igbos in the Ghana state should henceforth.
Ano kwamo mianka na awodi nipa pina ekwate timu pao. Amani pampempema wali agu. Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Awo wamo yade se. Wombe muwenya basisi a. Yade bi tise stroke, gonorrhea, anabama waya mre e wampamu. Low sperm count. Wamo wanu adro tatashe eni je sam se sabane sunsumu nsema wamo tele te. Se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi yade amawo. Pampabone anabo. Ana wanya abai amane e court case. Wobetu charge osisi a. Enam omajuma panti ni pampempem enebe fo bukofie. Ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom. Se mosini ene enzimani akamba mu dia. Sunsumu niama asie betu. Obi aje wukunu. Anasa woyere awaresem adwuma sam akwantuo mu nsam ni nyina aya suma sam. Fabadan Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Obehuyan of
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region. Ehon ma number aye didi dwuma no aye 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421.
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Yebediwa samama.
Who a few minutes ago recognized this man as His Royal Majesty and preventing another man from carrying himself as a chief, and that this was the only recognized one. The question is, was this letter fake? Why have the tables turned all of a sudden? Is this because of the furore from an interview that was granted in 2013? Did we do enough investigation? What was the mind of this guy? Xenophobia. We got to be careful. A man who has been chief from 2012. If it's the title king, we don't want. He always says that he's Eze. Igwe. How do you translate that? It's like Nana. You can say chief, you can say king. Nana or Hene. My brother, my sister. It is the Blackport, aka Kukushonomo. And here we speak.
Nti abusha Black Rasta ena Emma account no and yina in how supportive a Black Rasta aye to this man, but ena makano sisi a Ghana for I say yan kasa how you see address the issue no ono and yes in Nigeria for a wudi a omudi no oman ni no. In fact bibi a wo ho inti we need to sit down me message ba ko pe yantena ase yandwen ade ne ho yie your message a ya present anything anyesa ebetu agu abonten ho twe kai yampane at the end no, are we going to get a positive resource? You know, any idea? Maybe sir. Macau. But my source when you subscribe to channel na subscribe me. Na afi so no. But bell notification so anyway I may upload video via on Sabekambi.